This is an AP Calculus exam question from the calculator section. This is actually a multiple choice question, but I didn't have time to write it all out. So these are the three possibilities. So this is what we're going to answer. Again, because this is a calculator section, this is one way that you could do this. If you want, you could plug through all the calculus, but it might be easier to do it this way. So it says if f of x is equal to the rational function 2x over x squared plus 1, is f of x an even or odd function? Well, remember, if a function is odd, then let me put this in a different color. Then f of opposite x is equal to the opposite of f of x. So that's something that we can test out on the calculator, but just remember this is what you had to bring with you, that you had to know this. Does f of x have a horizontal asymptote? Hopefully you can just see this, and this should be really clear from here. You shouldn't need this. This has the highest exponential value of the variable here is 1. The highest exponential value of a variable in the denominator is 2, and we know that if n is less than k, then we're going to have a horizontal asymptote where y is equal to 0. So that would be, if you were to draw this, it would be a dashed line. But we can prove that also using a calculator. And then finally, this is the part I would definitely use a calculator, and is x equals 1 a relative maximum? So here we go. Let's try this out. So I just went to my calculator here, and I already started putting some of this stuff in. Let me actually see if we can't find this. First thing I did was I put in the function I looked at in the calculator, and I'm asking myself about this relative maximum. And it says, is there one at 1? And if you go to x is 1, something does seem to be going here. It's not proof, but it tells you that it's not. If it is an extrema, and it's definitely not a minimum, because the minimum would be over here somewhere, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's look at that. So this is another bit of proof that this is an odd function. The opposite of 0 is 0. The opposite of negative 1 is this value. That is this. So I think that's good proof there. Let's go back to our calculator and take a look here. So here we were on our calculator. I put the function as f of x. Yeah. I took TDX of f of x, that is the derivative. Here's the derivative. I went to the store function. I just hit Control Store, and it automatically took this from here and saved it as g of x. So now I have the derivative function here. Now I'm going to use the solve function in solve. And then look, I'm just going to solve g of x. G of x is equal to 0 for what value or values of x. Hit enter here. And it is 1 or negative 1, so we know that we have extrema values here and here. We looked at the graph and we found out that it was here, so I think we've pretty much satisfied this. We know we have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. We know from by definition that f of x is an odd function, and also that x equals a is a relative maximum. So let's go back to that if you don't mind. I have to give a shout out to Quincy and Kamari for helping me with this calculus video. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. So we know this is odd here. We know that there is a horizontal asymptote and it's y equals 0, and we looked at the graph and we also set g prime at x is equal to 0. We got that x equals 1 is an extreme, and by looking at the graph we know that it's a maximum, so yes. So actually how it showed up on the exam, it says which of these things are true, A, B, or C, and it turns out that A, B, and C are all true. So hope that was helpful.